Well, the D.C. machine might be broken, but at the end of the day, most Americans still want the GOP in charge of pretty much everything. According to a new series of Gallup polling, 53% of Americans believe the Republican Party would do a better job of keeping the country prosperous, as opposed to only 39% who believe the same about Democrats. 57% trust the GOP to protect our nation from international terrorism and military threats, while 35% think the Democrats could do a better job. It's almost like Americans are starting to believe Democrats are truly the America Last Party, who care more about political correctness and themselves than reality or national security. The 14-point percentage lead the Republicans hold on major issues is up 4 points. 4 points it's up from last year, where it sat at 10. It is the widest advantage the Republicans have held since 1991. So, again, Democrats, while you're celebrating this whole change in the speakership, I wouldn't celebrate too long or too loud, just saying. The Capitol Police have issued a statement on its ongoing investigation on the fire alarm that was pulled in a congressional office building ahead of the spending vote over the weekend. The statement details the events that occurred as, quote, a man was seen trying to exit the door in the Cannon building and then pulling the fire alarm that prompted the evacuation. USCP officers had previously placed signs with clear language that explained the door was secured and marked as an emergency exit only. You see what's missing? The name of the member of Congress that pulled a fire alarm, a former high school principal, Congressman Jamel Bowman, Democrat. He can be seen in the video. He's admitted to the crime and dominated headlines all weekend, so why won't the Capitol Police name him? Yeah, you'll figure it out. A police report in the interview that the police held with Bowman still hasn't been released, but I'm sure that'll be more interesting. Of course, that is if we ever see it. The Supreme Court will not be taking up a case this new term that seeks to disqualify former President Donald Trump from the 2024 ballots of the various states. Write-in Republican candidate John Anthony Castro sued Trump earlier this year, claiming that the post-Civil War provision in the 14th Amendment barred the former president from running, quote, given his alleged provision of aid or comfort to the convicted criminals and insurrectionists that violently attacked our United States Capitol. The case has been denied without any comment or recorded vote. Similar lawsuits have been filed in Colorado, New Hampshire, Michigan, and Arizona, all headed exactly nowhere. An Iranian official is claiming Iranian responsibility for multiple terrorist attacks of the 1980s that cost hundreds of American lives. The Middle East Media Research Initiative obtained an audio recording of an interview with the Islamic Republic of Iran's representative to Lebanon, Syed Tabatabai. It's unclear when the interview was taken, but Tabatabai tells the Islamic Republic News Agency that he, quote, provided what was needed in order to carry out martyrdom operations in the place where the Americans and Israelis were, Lebanon. Tabatabai went on to claim that they partnered with the terrorist movement Hezbollah in keeping up military operations. It cost hundreds of lives. Hezbollah has been blamed for bombing the U.S. Embassy in Beirut in 1983. 63 people died there, and for enlisting suicide truck bombers that same year in an attack that killed 220 U.S. Marines, 18 Navy sailors, and 3 Army soldiers, along with 58 French troops at the barracks in Lebanon. Tabatabai says he received the orders from Ayatollah Khomeini, the father of the Islamic Revolution. This is significant because no official representative of the Khomeini or of Iran's supreme leader has ever acknowledged that they had any involvement in the bombings, but we know now. What will we do about it? It's time for the White House to demand reparations or take some bolder step, but I wouldn't hold your breath, all right? There is an organization that still backs Obamacare, gun control, extreme transgender policies that endanger our kids, and they claim to be bipartisan, but last year that organization, well, it gave 95% of its donations to Democrats. That's AARP. AARP doesn't represent the values of American seniors. Fortunately, there is a conservative alternative, AMAC. The Association of Mature American Citizens proudly champions Americans' rights to free speech, religious liberty, and the Second Amendment. AMAC defends parents' rights, protect their kids, and is fighting to restore America's election integrity. With more than 2 million members nationwide, AMAC is growing. They're pro-faith, pro-family, and, of course, pro-freedom. I'm a proud member of AMAC, and I encourage you to join today. Let's send AARP a strong message that they don't represent conservative seniors. Join AMAC. Am I a senior? Oh, that hurts. Join AMAC today at amac.us/voice. That's amac.us/voice. All right. Thank you for being here. I'm a senior. After the break, we'll have a story that reminds us of how wonderful America is, plus your answers to the America's Voice question of the day.